looking at the paper, just like my history homework, I wrote this in the bathroom right there. 16 years, and if you can believe, 90 pounds ago, I met George Febles during a Fordham Prep open house held for prospective freshmen. There he stood with his star athlete, Ray Mendez, and endured the barrage of questions frightened 8th graders and their parents might have for a high school track coach. Mothers asking, "Will my son be running outside in the cold?" And sons asking, "Do I get to miss gym if I join track?" Then there was my mom, who spent 15 minutes convincing Coach Febles I was really fast because she ran after me with a belt. I recall thinking two things standing at that desk. One, I could take this guy Ray if I wanted to. And two, what's this guy going to teach me about track and field that I don't already know? The thought process of a naive incoming freshman. Little did I know no one could take Ray. And I certainly couldn't fathom how positively Coach Febles would later influence my life. As a coach, 30% of what George Febles taught me was track and field. The rest of it was how to truly be a man, especially a man for others. He taught me how to be accountable for my actions. He taught me to accept triumph with humility and conquer defeat with reflection. Coach had a knack for transforming a losing effort on the track into a winning effort in life. It mattered little what place you achieved, but how you fare against yourself the prior week. Most notably, he instilled the importance of a team concept to track and field, which is widely regarded as an individual sport. We had a runner on our squad by the name of Marcello Labiello. Marcello was one of the smartest kids in school, nicest guy in the world. He ran 18:09 for the freshman 1.5-mile course. His first time in. Most guys finish that in what, like 9 or 13 minutes or something like that? 18:09 is this guy's time. Now I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know I wasn't the only one asking the question, why is this kid running at all? He seemed better suited to do anything else but run. Coach Febles coached him just as hard as he did his top athletes. I would listen to Coach strategize race scenarios with Marcello during meets. Mind you, Marcello was like always in the last heat. Sometimes even running by himself. But Coach recognized something early on in Marcello and never quit on it, as Marcello never quit on himself. Marcello finished his career at 14:39 for the 2.5-mile course. At times running for the Prep's top 7 in meets. Marcello served as an example to all of us, the true definition of heart. Coach Febles taught me the true definition of support. When I thought about the team concept, I dissected the secret to his genius. Coach Febles has the best supporting cast on the planet. His fondness of history taught him to build on the successes that have worked in the past. Coach Joseph Fox emphasized the benefits of a team of inclusion, and Coach Febles has not turned away a runner with a willingness to work hard. Pat Dormer, Bill Dowling, and Brian Carney have certainly played an important role in the Prep's accomplishments. Recently has been his brother Matt, Darren Johnson, whom I ran with. Not proud of that, by the way. Kevin Phipps and Paul Collins, who have helped the Prep realize the goal of becoming a CHSAA powerhouse. Then I thought a little harder, and maybe being 30 and married might have brought me to this revelation. But Coach, what a partner you have in Miss Nelsie Febles. She certainly shares in this honor tonight, as she is the embodiment of support. You work all day, coach until 6, and for the majority of the weekend you're away at meets. You're updating websites and newsletters and navigating the politics of who will be this week's MIP. All the while, Mrs. Febles has stood by your side, having 3 wonderful children during these years. I asked for a round of applause here, but we already did that. I would also like to recognize Coach Febles Sr., hold the applause, and Mrs. Febles. Having the privilege of running for Mr. Febles Sr., it comes as no surprise that Coach Febles Jr. has grown into such an extraordinary coach and an even better man. I personally would like to thank you both for the role your son has played in my life. He will most certainly leave his legacy in the halls of Fordham Prep, but more importantly, his legacy will be etched in the hearts of each runner he coaches. You know, when my wife and I were working on our guest list for the wedding, which actually is tougher than running up Tar Hill, and we got to Coach Febles' name, I told her that the man I am, the husband I want to be, and the father I aspire to become is a foundation based on the character, morality, and integrity learned from Coach Febles. I can assure you all, growing up in Washington Heights, positive male role models weren't an easy thing to come by in a single-parent household. I was fortunate to look no further than the guy with the flaring nostrils holding the stopwatch. It has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life to stand up here and pay tribute to you. You're an extremely important person in my life and whom I admire and respect. I want to remind you this ceremony is not a Lifetime Achievement Award. We still expect and look forward to much more out of you. There's no such thing as too many championships. Now, while you have repeatedly asked me to call you George, I have to say, out of respect for you, I cannot bring myself to do it. But as I reach my early stages of adulthood, it is my honor to call you my friend.